Have you ever wished for more confusing as shit M. Night Shyamalan-esque films made by emulators who have just no clue how to finish film or pay off a mysterious story? We got you covered, kids.
We're in the world now.
Never Let Go stars Halle Berry as Mama, who I don't think she gets another name, and her two sons and her living out in this blessed house in the middle of these woods where the world has ended, or so she says, and there's an evil that lurks in the woods, or so she says, and only she can see it, but she tells the boys it's real, and they have to stay connected to the house via ropes anytime they go outside and never go further than a rope will take them out of the house, or the evil will touch them and then get them. Although they take off the ropes in the opening 10 minutes of the film and the evil just doesn't get them. Do you know why? It's real slow. The all-powerful demonic force, which is coming after them, only takes on the forms of really slow people. So these two boys, one of them is just reverential of her, believes everything she's saying, no problems. The other one begins to doubt her and think, is my mother crazy? Has the world not ended? Is there no evil? And starts to have all these questions. Maybe we can come off the ropes. And, at first, it's like, well, you should be listening to your mother, kid. And I think, maybe you're in the wrong here. But as it goes on, and they get close to starving, because they've had a hard winter, you see, so they're close to starving. Because I guess the evil has made everything in their greenhouse die. Why is the greenhouse not blessed like the house? Don't ask questions. Don't do it, no. So we're going to go through the kind of raising doubts process. The Halle Berry's kind of scary as this mother. She's very intense, and it's like, whoa, maybe she's gone crazy. And other 10 Cloverfield Lane plot points. Yeah, it's just... It feels like it's built for shock value. And that's fair enough, because in the thriller horror genre, that can be quite an effective tool. Unfortunately, if you've got a hammer in there and you need a screwdriver, sometimes you've got the wrong tool, or you only have one tool and it can't do every job. Analogies. I have a few questions, just like some generic things. How did you figure out that it's being attached via rope to the house that keeps you safe from the evil? How did you test that? It feels like there'd be a lot of trial and error involved in that, which would involve the evil sometimes getting you. And then, of course, why or how is the house blessed in a way that nothing else can be? It just... Because, the greenhouse, if you blessed the greenhouse, maybe all your crops wouldn't die, or if you just blessed the whole forest one tree at a time, wouldn't you be safe everywhere around there? It's fine, it's fine. Oh, and, of course, the evil can interact with things, and do things, take over people, all sorts of stuff. And we know in the past that it's taken over several of her family members who the boys say she's killed in the past once the evil got them. Why, after managing that, did the evil never, start a fire to burn down the house or something, It once in the house. It's been waiting to get in the house for a decade. Why didn't it just, fire? The film leaves me with more questions than answers. It's infuriating. And something happens that I won't go into because of spoilers, about halfway through the film, that makes me feel it made me feel in the cinema oh, I'm not going to get answers to any of these questions. They're going to leave a bunch of stuff unresolved about this whole premise. They're not going to explain it. And I get in some metaphorical premises, you don't need to explain everything, but there needed to be a bit more explanation than there was here, okay? Trust me, it really needed a little extra something. It's a very tense film. It's got some decent horror-y moments. Honestly, I feel like the best horror moments were shown in the trailer. It's more of a taut psychological thriller for a lot of the film than a jump scary or very, horror-y thing. It's a horrifying situation to be in, no doubt. But yeah, the lack of answers and a third act that wasn't bad, but just felt a bit okay. That's a shame, I think. Sometimes horror films really fall apart in the third act trying to explain too much. This one fell apart in the third act for me because I was just going, as it explained nothing. And the ending especially. Yeah, it bugs me. It bugged me quite a lot. And I think it's just a very forgettable film as a result, honestly. There are a couple of great moments, and I think all the performances were good, but it's a very forgettable film at the end of the day, which is a shame because it just didn't need to be. It does just mostly invest itself in finding other ways they can be made to let go of the rope, or, and that... you got this one rule, and then you break it in the opening 10 minutes, then you're like, okay, now what do we do? It could have been a short film on another level, but it's not, so I'm giving Let It Go 3 stars. Seriously, it just wasn't that bad or anything, okay? It's just I expected something great, and then it just kind of meandered along and it answered nothing. And I think they could have answered more. They just chose not to because they didn't have any answers.